Hey everyone, one more time. Let's try this again. I have recorded this thing like 3 times and I don't know what the hell's going on. But I wanted to talk about the prophecy Baba Odi Meylli or Tonti Odi Meylli 7-7 prophecy in Ifa. What I was reading this morning in regards to this Ifa, it's an Ifa that talks a lot about 3 different main categories. The first one is going to be about women in general. It's a representation of the women reproductive systems. It talks about egun. It talks about health and prosperity and overall your faith. Because they govern a lot in this sign. In Shango, Babaluaye o Batala Orula, Oshun. If you come out in this prophecy during reading, you should avoid going into the ocean because you are prone to a drowning incident. Before you go to the ocean, before you go to the river to go for a swim, it's important that you get a reading done first or avoid being in the deep areas of the water because you are prone to an accident or a drowning. Talks about that you have more today than you did before, but you're lacking one thing, and that's the gratefulness and the humbleness that was in your heart once when you had less. What usually happens is as we gain more in life, we forget where we were before. We start acting kind of asshole-ish, ingrateful or ungrateful. We are not as humble as we used to be when we had less. So the Orisha or your spirit guides slowly but surely start taking away from you so you can gain back what you had in your heart before you had all of the materialistic things that you have today. Always be grateful for what you have. Avoid people that are in drama and gossip, things of that nature. Always only focus on your path and what you need to do. It's a sign that talks a lot about prosperity and abundance and evolution. But of course, you have to stay focused and avoid being around the wrong people in the wrong scenarios. Something else that I was reading in regards to this sign is the fact that if you come out in this ita or in this sign, is very important that you receive olokun for the stability and well-being of your health and overall your stability in life. It doesn't have to always be financial. It could be mentally, emotional. So it's important to receive olokun. You can have a lot of losses in this sign, but you can also have a lot of gains. And that's why it's important that you stay humble. You don't belittle people because you're in a better position today or have a better car. Remember, you can always go back to where you were if you're not grateful for what your deities, your spirit guides, Odumare, has given you today. If you have problems sleeping, that's very common in this sign because insomnia is very prone to people in this ita. You might go to bed early. You wake up early in the middle of the night. You might go to bed and wake up even more tired. You need to start really focusing on your spirits and your spirit guides, your spiritual circle, and see what they need. They might need attention. They might need an offering. You might need to do a cleanse. That's why it's very important that you learn a lot of the prayers. You learn a lot of the rituals that you need to start doing with eguns. You need to put food for your eguns in this sign. A lot of spiritualism is practiced in the sign. So you might be more prone to spiritualism than religion if you're coming out in this ita. It talks a lot about overall the person not getting involved in situations that have nothing to do with them. So if it's not anything that's personal, that's going to affect you directly, don't worry about it. There's a lot of different sayings in the sign that I wasn't too sure about. Maybe if you're a Babalao and you're watching this channel, you can kind of give me some ideas of what some of those sayings talk about in respect to this Odun. But I'm not going to try to get into it because I wasn't sure how to translate it. The person in the sign usually has bad feelings towards people. You have a lot of anger inside of you. It's important that you understand that those angry feelings will only put you in osobo, in a negative state. So you just have to learn to let go. You can't hold people accountable for their mistakes in the past. You got to just learn from it and move past it because what it will cause you is stress. And stress will be the death of you. Something that I learned in this sign today is people usually in this Ita or in this Odun have bad habits. It's important that you avoid people that also have bad habits, meaning if they're smokers or heavy drinkers, you're prone to be a heavy smoker or drinker. You are who you hang with. I had a video about this yesterday. But if you're currently a person that has this Ita or this sign in a reading, just know there's currently a bad habit that's going to be your destruction. I know I have one. I like to smoke cigarettes. Really bad habit. I know the consequences of smoking long term, cancer. And in this Ita, talks a lot about cancer, diabetes, infections in the throat area, leukemia, things of that sort. And all of these things can come from a habit. So if you obviously eat a lot of sweets, you can become diabetic. You're a heavy smoker, you can get cancer. So that's why it's saying habits are going to be your downfall if they're bad habits. So it's very hard for the person in this Ita or this prophecy to break those bad habits. If you're going to go outside and you're going to take flowers or plants out of the ground, it's important that you leave an offering to sign. So don't just go around pulling plants out of the ground to put them on your altar. Make sure you leave some change or an offering in this particular Odun if you come out in this reading, Odi Meylli. A lot of people get blinded when they're angry. They let their emotions overtake them. And again, stress is one of the major factors in the sign that can bring you a downfall, can bring you diseases. So it's very important that you live a very non-hostile lifestyle, very pacific lifestyle. Learn to forgive, learn to, let go of the small shit. Because if you live a very angry life, always upset, always thinking about the past, you're not going to be able to prosper or move forward. But one of the things that I learned the most about this sign today is overall, you might have everything today versus 10 years ago. You might have a better car, a better position, a better job, but you're empty inside. You probably have everything in the world, but you're missing that one thing that you used to have, which was humbleness. Don't forget to be humble and grateful for what you have today. Your deities and spirit guides can slowly and surely take that away so you can gain back that humbleness that you used to have when you were in poverty. I hope this prophecy helps resonate something in your life today. And I hope this is the last recording I have to do for Odi Meylli. For whatever reason, I haven't been able to successfully upload it. But this sign was very powerful. Something that I truly enjoyed reading about today. If you have a Babalao and this is your Ita, I highly suggest you get with him and find out what you need to do next as far as your initiations, if it's receiving Olokun or anything else. And if you did a reading and you came out in this prophecy, make sure you take the advice that's given to you and follow the word of Ifa. Ashe y bendiciones.